Hello and welcome back. Welcome back. Let's get this shot ready. And we go. How you doing? All right. What's wrong? What are we going today? A grass curtain, sakura blossom. There you go. You're so attentive. You know, they catch up instantly on what we're doing. Yeah, I mean, Chuck decided to go like, okay, let's do the most difficult thing for the entire game, and it's the graphs. It's gonna require a little bit of work, a little bit of dedicate the shader and stuff, but so far so good. It's very nice to get an idea of how things can look. Let's change court. Let's see. Go court 5. So we got. So you see that you change court and you get a different view. Here we can see a lot more tennis courts compared to the other courts. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. Lots of more details. Yeah, it's very good to have a pre-visualization on how things can look like. Xenth, how you doing? All right. What we're gonna do today, I really want to get this replay done, but before I was in the middle of doing rankings, so we're gonna go rankings. ISR formula. Ciao Ale. I'm very interested in tennis. Oh, you also play tennis in real life. A technical question: are the characters temporary? Yes, everything is temporary. Or will they created with top spin style animation? Everything is temporary, but the style of the game is going to be anime. Right? So so the look of the character is going to be anime. It's going to be girls. So we're going to focus on that. And obviously the animations, will have to improve a lot. It's one of the hardest part of the game, doing the animations, and it's a lot of work, a lot of things that we need to learn how to do. So we just started, and we're trying to make sure that the game is solid, and then you can always improve animations. It's not an animation driven game, so it's like the gameplay is not driven by animation, so it's going to be a little bit different, I think, from what modern sports games are. So the controls are gonna feel, I hope, more responsive. So when you move the character moves right straight away, and so it's like you really have a lot of control on the player, right? So there isn't that kind of detachment that you get in games that are too driven from animations. But we will see. At the moment, we're working on it, so we'll see what we can do. Right. So what's the idea with the rankings? The ranking idea is to to complete the question from YouTube, it's definitely not going to be. I always say, like, this is not going to be a Sinner versus Alcaraz at Wimbledon kind of game. That's not what we're doing. We're doing a game that is more about junior and challenger level tennis. So you are on your way trying to become a pro. Like, so it's like more junior tennis. So also the environment is going to reflect that fact. So you're not gonna be playing in the center court of Wimbledon. You're gonna be playing in a tennis club, right? You're gonna be playing in something that looks like this. And when you play, there are gonna be people, other matches going on around you. You're not gonna have 30,000 people watching you. It's challenger level tennis, right? And the game it's a single player game, where the idea is that you need to grow your character, right? As a skill of your character. So there is going to be this sequence of tournament training, where, you know, obviously in the tournament you're playing against your opponents, playing like a tournament, trying to win and go up in the ranks. And when you're not playing tournaments, you're training and you're choosing, okay, I want to train my you know, aggressive forehand, and you go there and you hammer it down, blah blah blah. And if you train well, your either your speed, if you wanted to work on the speed of your shot, or your accuracy of your shot will increase, almost like an RPG, right? So you have this back and forth between training and tournaments. And the interesting thing, I think, in the game is that your opponents will be training as well. So the game will. I hope the game is going to have a lot of characterizations on your opponents, right? So you might have some opponents that are particularly strong in relation to the other opponents at the beginning of the season, but as you progress with the game, perhaps they are not training that well, or they are training on the wrong thing, and you might have other players becoming stronger than them. So you get this kind of evolving situation, which is very typical in junior tennis, where, you know, obviously the levels are very clear, but you know, you have evolution between the levels. There will be a character editor for player. There will be a character creation when you start the game. So you're gonna create your own character, and so you will be able to create your own character. Yeah, I think for now, fundamentally only your own character. I don't think it makes sense to, at least for the first version of the game. So it's gonna be fundamentally a single player game, where you try to play in this world that is created for you, with other players. So there's going to be, you know, a lot of work that has to go into balancing the gameplay, balancing the skills, balancing how much a training session can improve your shots. All right, so we're doing this thing. So what is the idea of ranking? So right now we have the tournaments, right? So at the end of the tournament, the idea is that we will go into another screen that will show the updated ranking based on the points that were assigned for this tournament, right? So what we need to do in order to do that is to So I wrote the code for the ranking. I think what we need to do first thing is we're going to need another screen, which will show the ranking itself. So here we got the ranking. Let's make sure. So how we can go about this? Probably the best thing to do is to create the actual screen. So wherever we have this main screen, right, so we have the main screen, we have the tournament screen, and now we're going to have the ranking screen. For the ranking, I'm thinking that we might end up with two ranking. Right? One ranking could be a seasonal ranking, maybe. So based on points in tournaments, right? So you win a match in a tournament. So you go, if you win and you go on the second round, you get a certain amount of points. You go on the third round, you get a certain amount of points, and so on, and then you sum these. Now it's interesting because, for example, something like ATP, the rankings are based on the last 12 months. So what is happening is that, you get every week you get the points for that week, and the point for that week last year you lose them. Right? So the ranking is always reflecting the last 12 months. Then in ATP you have like a different ranking. There is a seasonal ranking where it's only the point within that season. And I imagine what is happening is that at the end of the season, the two ranks will show pretty much the same thing. And then there is another concept of ranking, which is something like the UTR, which is more like a Elo-based ranking. That is based more on the opponents you play. So if you play a good opponent and you win, your ranking will go up. Right? So we might end up with this combination of 2 or 3 ranking. It really depends. I don't want to make the game too complex. So at the end of the day, the point of the game is the way I'm thinking about it is that you do these seasons and you have these 32 opponents. And my idea is that you need to finish something like in the top quarter, and the top quarter will go next season to a season that is higher level, if you see what I mean. At the moment, that's how I'm thinking about it. So it's, from that point of view, it might be seen more like a football kind of league kind of stuff. We'll see. Anyway, so we got this struct for the ranking screen, right? And obviously it's going to have a form. Very simple. And here we're going to have ranking screen. So basically we're adding another possible screen to the entire launcher. Then we start with the implementation of ranking screen. And it's going to look very, very similar to what we're doing with the other screens. So it's going to look like pretty much this. Right. So we're going to grab all this stuff. Hot load. So this stuff for sure. And there should be a very simple, screen. And this is, we're going to call it ranking. Okay. And we're going to need to create the form. It's going to be ranking. And then we're going to have a button to go back. I think that's pretty much what we're going to have. And then obviously there's going to be the ranking list that we need to figure out how to do it. So now we have the ranking screen. Let's go to the launcher. So if we are in a ranking screen, we will do pretty much this. So all very similar stuff. Let's create, whoopsie. Let's create this update. Generate methods. Game font store, texture store. That's correct. All right. And what we're going to do with this is render the form. I think nothing much at the moment. So we're gonna pretty much do all this stuff. Form size, screen size, update, blah, blah, blah. Begin frame. Right. Then self form render. Plus the UI and screen size. And we get the events, right? And then we loop for the events for have in events iter with match on the event name as string and event kind, and do nothing here. And if it is our button back, we will have to set let mutable result is none, so we return results, and here we set it result equals sum, screen update to main screen. So we just go back and forth from the main screen. Nothing. We just want to set up this thing. Hot reloads, I don't think we're gonna need to do much. As usual, let's create the function and then it does nothing. All right. This has to be a mutable self. So that's pretty much That's pretty much it. Okay. And probably we're going to need a button on the main screen to go to the rankings. So obviously I'm gonna just slap these buttons around right now. We don't care. So probably here on the top of the tournament. So main screen. So where is the tournament? Tournament, right? So we're gonna do this button ranking. 150. Yeah. Ranking. All right. So that's a button, and now we have to make it do something, right? So let's go in update for main screen, and if it is button ranking, we go to ranking screen. Okay, then Rust is gonna drive me to the next thing to do, which is this one. This is starting to look, yeah. Starting to look the same, right? So we're starting to see a pattern emerging here. And then finally, I think here, screen to ranking screen. Finally, we do the thing that we actually need to do. Create a ranking screen. And ranking screen. Ranking screen. Ranking. All right. That should do, I think. So ranking, boom. So we go to ranking, back, boom. We go back here. Ranking, back. Okay. So we need to decide how we're gonna show this ranking. Okay. And I think we have two options. We can either create a new widget in the retain system that we have to do some kind of list box, or we could draw the ranking ourselves. If I remember correctly, in the IMGUI list box, I think you could, I might be mistaken, but I don't think you can change the color of a particular line. So I'm tempted to do it like we did for the tournament for now. So do it with a kind of dedicated code. And if you remember what I said if I end up needing another code like that, I should probably attempt to do some kind of callback system. Now, callbacks in Rust are not that easy. So let's see how this could look like. So it could, so there are two options, right? I could have in my render for the form, I could have a lambda here. Why am I We're not using this anymore, right? So one way to do it will be to have a lambda there. Some kind of custom render, right? Where we pass, I always forget this, an impl of fn mute. I always go through the sequence like, is it fn mute? But most of the time it's fn mute. Otherwise it's fn once. I think it's once in this case. So I think I think it's an impl of fn once, right? That takes a UI. It could take a form RC, maybe. So basically like my renders. Immutable form RC. Let's try like this. Right? But hold on. In reality, it should be an option of this. Make things a little bit more complex. Well, I don't think it needs to be an option. I think we can do it like this. And then the idea is that when we get here, I think we draw the background. And so the decision is, are we going to call the custom before or after all our widget? I would say before. So I would say custom render immute RC. That's the idea pretty much, right? Okay. So now we have to change. So one thing that we can do to see if this works is to see is to try to implement the. This is what we will have to be forced to do. RC, right? We'll have to force to do this. In the case we don't want to do anything. Right? So this is the tournament, right? So this is the code that we run. So this is the perfect example of what we want to do. So let's have a look. So this is going to be like RC, and then we want to build this, build and render this. Right. So this is already a bad. This is already a bad thing. Let's see if we can get away with this. So this all goes away. So right now the problem is we cannot borrow self form. I have a feeling that we cannot call self. This is our problem. So this render tournament round cannot be self, right? So we need to get rid of this. And if we get rid of this, it means that we need the font. What else? The tournament. Right. So we're going to need, let's have a look. We're going to need a bunch of stuff. So we're going to need the tournament, which is going to be, should be easy. We're going to need the font, which is going to be let's have a look. So that's what we're doing here. So I think it's going to be an RC of font, right? So here, this becomes font, right? And this become tournament. And what else? Is tournament. All right. And that should allow us, what's the problem here? As std rc font std. All right. And that should allow us at this point to get rid of this. And pass in the tournament, and then we need to pass in the tournament font, right? And the tournament font is self-form fonts, self-form, yeah, font 2 wrap. Yeah, like that. And this is gonna be self. And I really hope that makes the borrow checker happy. Not yet. It's still saying we cannot borrow self form as mutable because it's also borrow as immutable, and I think it's here. I think we need to grab, it's a little bit annoying. I think we need to grab, sadly we need to grab this RC to a font, I think. Okay. And then we pass it in like this, and we should be done. But I wonder if we can do better. I think we can do better. All right, so this makes the borrow checker happy. Could bring this stuff in. So this could go in, I think. Doesn't really matter. Okay, let's get everything to build, and then we try. So this becomes what's wrong here? What? Type form RC is private. All right. So form RC. Oob. Okay. What else? I saw a lot of red here. All right, we're good. Okay, so does the tournament still work? Should. It should. Tournament. All right, all good. Yep, all good. Cool. Nice. So now we have this callback system, and we can do the exactly the same thing. I wonder that I really don't like what we're doing with that font. I wonder if I could include. Oh, actually, we have fonts here. Hold on. We have fonts in the RC, so that's exactly what I wanted to do, actually. So that means that, so let's go to that tournament font that we were doing. So instead of doing this, I think in the tournament round, instead of doing this, you know what? I really don't even need a font because I can just push it before. Yeah, so I don't need this font. I don't need to do this push. Yeah, I don't need all this stuff, right? Because what I can do, so all this goes away. Bang, 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 and bang, right? And what I can do is, before I render all this shit, I push the font. RC, RC. Hey, what's going on here? Of course. All this stuff are useful, right? All this stuff is very useful. So for example, okay, so here we can do fonts too. Sizable fonts. It's private. Ooh, and then we get this one. So to font push RCUI. Right. So for example, all this UI should be RCUI. So we don't have to put it in the Lambda. Good thing. What else? The tournament draw scale that we're doing here, we don't need it anymore. It's RC scale. Okay. RC scale. Yeah. Feel me? Which means that we start to see that we could pass the entire RC and save another parameter in this thing. Okay, I think it's good enough. So let's make sure it works. Tournament. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like it's working. I don't like how, see the space here between the last turn, the last match and the bottom of the screen. It gets a little bit too close. Good enough. All right, back to the ranking. So let's go to the update of the ranking. Nope. Of the ranking screen. And now we have the power to do this. Right? So we do this. That is same stuff. So we push the font. Okay. And we probably use the same font, I would imagine. So because we copied the thing, we're using the same font here. So the small, so the number 2. So RC fonts number 2 font push RCUI. Cool. All right. Okay. Now, next, we grab the ranking. And the ranking is going to be ranking, read, and wrap. All right. And then what we do, and we also going to need the players DB. Players DB, read, and wrap. Right. Then we're going to go for player index in ranking header. And we're going to need to know which number we are. Enumerate. And we're going to start writing. What is it? Font draw text. Where we pass UI. The text is going to be format. So we're going to write the name of the player. And the points. For now, it's going to look like absolute shit, but we're going to fix it. Right. So this is going to be I+1. The name of the player is going to be players DB. Players. Player index. Full name. Right. And then it's going to be ranking points player index. Okay, so what's the problem here? Okay, this is point. We have to difference this. Okay, draw text wants more stuff. It wants text, then the position and the color. Okay, so let's go with the position. Should be easy. Vec2. Let's say we give a margin of 50 pixel per scale, RC scale, and vertically 100 pixel per scale, per RC scale. So we can do this. Okay, and then the color, JVM colors, black. We're not. Okay. Fair enough. Let's go. And let's see. Oof. Okay. We are printing every entry in the same place. Right. So this is going to be 100 plus 30 by I as F32. Okay, they just fit. It just fits. Okay. Okay. There is a lot of space between the names, so we can reduce this. Although the font is 27, so okay, that's much better. Okay, what it would be nice is, well, I would say the font is a little bit too small to start with, probably, because we have so much. Even if we have more than 32 players, we can go like 2 columns. Right, let's try to go to 2 columns. So let's try to make the font much bigger. Let's go 50, right? So if we go 50, it's gonna look something like this, okay? So we need to scale appropriately. So we're gonna go like 55. Okay. We can actually go like 51. Okay. Let's see how it will work to do like 2 columns, right? So 2 columns is gonna be, let me think. Let me think what's the best way to do the thing. So column is gonna be I divided by 16. Okay. And then row is gonna be I minus column by 16. Right? So this is going to be 50 plus column multiplied by, I don't know, 400. Right? And this is going to be 100 by 51 multiplied by row. Yeah, column as F32. All right, that should give us 2 columns, I think. Not sure, but I think so. All right, there you go. Pretty cool. And they're nice and big, which is something actually I would like to do also in the tournament, because there are 2 ways to do this, right? So one way is like this, where the tournament goes this way. There is another way where you can have like the 16 on this side, 16 on this side, and they kind of go into the middle. And so they will use the entire screen. So the UI might look a little bit different, where we have the tournament in the middle and the controls button in the center, instead of having this kind of flow this way. But this one, I really need to load it on the Steam Deck to see if this is too small. I'm not sure. If this was for sure. This font is not really helping. Let me try the other font. You know, since we're here, what is the other font that we have ready to go in there? Tennis current content fonts. So let's see what happened with this one. So let's go to tournament screen. Was TTF, right? TTF. See how it looks. Well, it's italic, so obviously it's wider. It's definitely much easier to read. Let me check if I have the normal one of this Noto. Open Sans. I don't know where these are coming from. Sender Corporation. What did I use for hydrofoil generation? That we double check that it was usable. What was it? System fonts. Okay. Noto mono. Yeah, I think this one could be our guy. This could be our guy. Ooh. Okay, that's very wide. Ciao Simone. That's really wide. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Let's try this one. I didn't. Right. This one we're right there. No, we're not right there. We're very far from being there. So we need like a much wider. Fonts are so annoying, man. Actually, I should be able to do this set hot reload. Let's have a look. I should be able to hot reload this. Like how low I need to go. No, so the fonts are not hot reloading. What a fail. Okay. So the fonts are not hot reloading. Fair enough. I think I'm gonna go back to the old one. And cannot read anything anymore. Let's go back. We'll have to dig deeper. But you understand what I was saying, right? So the idea is that we might have like a much bigger font. So everything could be like double size. And obviously then horizontal space becomes a problem. The other thing that you could do is to have pages, right? But I think if we stay with 32 players, I think we're totally fine with a view like this. You know, that we should have space to write 32 players. All right. So let's see how we can improve this ugly thing here. If I remember, there was something that I was doing when I was testing this shit. So actually, is it in the score? Is it in somewhere in the score that I'm doing it? Score. Where is it? Point strings, score strings. No, so it's where is it? Tennis level. Where am I writing the score? Here it is. Pretty sure that here I'm doing something. Here it is. That's the thing that we're looking for. So we want the name to have a particular size, right? So when we render the ranking, we want the name to be 15, right? And we want the numbers to be 2. Doesn't really work. The number works. Probably 15 is not enough. Why it doesn't work? I don't get it. Ah, because it's not right. It's not this font is not a monospace font. That's why it's not working. I think that could be the reason why it's not working. It looks a little bit like a TV from... It's incredible how wide it is. Yeah, so if with the monospace it works, but we need way more space. Way more space. I definitely need to find a better font. This one had a regular. Let's have a look at the regular, but I think they're all. So EB, what does it mean? Extender BD, bold, and this is a regular. Hey, Crystal Bit, how you doing? I think let's. I don't think we should. I don't think we should waste too much time with this. I think we can make it small and fuck who cares. I mean, it's a matter of finding the right font. Really, in honesty, who cares, right? So let's go with something like 40, which is a reasonable. I think it's a reasonable size, right? And I know, hold on, I need to use the other one. Come on, man, wake up. So I need to use this one, right? So let's see, 40. So let's try to make it work with this. It should definitely be a bold font, right? So it is. So definitely I need to move it way There, so let's go like 700. All right. Right. And we need a little bit less, I think. I think probably 20 is enough. I can write a function that go check all my names and make sure that they are below 20. But we should be fine. I think this is good enough. I think this is good enough. Right. Last thing that we want to do, if we want to highlight the player. Right. So highlight our player. So let color is gonna be if player index is 0, then we go with what was it? GB tennis pink. Otherwise, we go with black. All right. Cool. We can probably get just a little bit more space from the top. Actually, a lot more. Yeah. Double the space. And did it do it? Right. I think is good enough. Obviously, you know, can be better. Can be better. Can be better. But I'm because like an idiot, I'm changing the X. Wake up, man. Right. Right. That's good enough for me. Right? And probably the other thing that we might want to do is to darken a little bit the background. So the poor girl is going to be a little bit less contrast. I think what I would like to do probably with this kind of views is going to be something like, we definitely need something that does monospace, but that doesn't look like a typewriter like this. So in the middle of the screen, and once we have the system to do the bloom, that I can have a pass that I have like a blur version of the rendered image. I can actually render the blur version of the image, so it's going to look like some kind of glass effect. It's going to blur this out, and this is going to be much easier to read. So far, so good. So let's go back. So the last thing to do, so in order to make this work, now what we want to do is when the tournament is over, so when the tournament is over, we want to have like finish or something like that. So right now in the tournament, we have a button that is called back. The idea is that when the tournament is finished, my idea is that probably this back button has to become some kind of finish tournament next, and it goes to the ranking. Are you thinking about responsive design? What? Are you thinking about responsive design? Ultra wide screen or less common aspect ratio? Yeah, it should already pretty much work, right? So the widget have anchor point, so these are anchored to the bottom, right? So as the bottom moves, these move as well. So should work in pretty much every kind of aspect ratio. Yeah, I mean, we could do it without spending too much time today. We can just go for it by have a look at this button back. in the tournament screen. And what we could do, we could say, if the tournament is complete, so if the tournament is not complete, we just go back to the main screen for now. If the tournament is complete, then what we do, we grab the ranking. Probably we can do it on the fly. Ranking, write, unwrap, add tournament result, and we pass the tournament. This will add the points to the ranking. And then we go to the ranking, to ranking screen. Super simple, right? That should do it. That should do it. So let's go. Tournament, okay? Simulate. So he's playing the matches. Right now, the game became, the rallies are too long, so the matches take longer. So we play our match and we will retire straight away. Hello? I say play. What's going on? Why are you not playing? Huh, interesting. Why is it not playing? I broke this? What happened here? Let me have a look. So button play. Load sim. What's going on? Let's debug. Hello, I hope all is well. Sorry to be off subject, but big fan of hydrofoil generation here. Thank you. Have you been considering making the game open source potentially? Yes, but sadly I was shut down, so it's not in my hands. Sadly. So it's not in my hands, sadly. Yeah, I'm very sad about that. I'm really sad as well. Because obviously, yeah, there would be one way to get the game evolve, or at least have a hope for it. It's very difficult code, right? It's not super easy code, so I don't know about that. All right, so let's understand why when I press, it's like we're not going that tournament screen. Did I change the button play? It's very interesting. It's because we have two buttons overlapping each other. That's the reason. That's the reason why it was not working. All right. So okay, now it works. So all the things that you will want to do, like add like new boats, it's quite a lot of work. It's quite a lot of work. You know, the only boat that might be kind of easy to implement and add is the AC-75, and probably that's probably the only boat that makes sense to add. honestly. I don't see other boat that will change the popularity of the game other than AC-75. And I spoke about this some other streams. Sadly, America's Cup shut me down with that. I tried to get the license for the 75 and they say no. So yeah. Okay, no, 1 second. There is one thing that I don't like, that I retire and gave me the victory. Let's change that because we just want to go. We want to progress as much as possible, right? So we want to. So let's swap this. Let's go. So tournament, simulate. Right, play. Exit, retire. And the other girl won. Okay, and now we simulate the rest of the round. In release mode, it takes about less than 1 second to simulate a round. In debug mode is a little bit slower, so this match is taking forever. Come on. All right. Then we simulate this round. Come on, come on, come on. Right now, the rallies are too long. That's why the matches take so long. Okay. Quarterfinals. No, I don't want to use it's using basically it's simulating the entire match. It's exactly like if I was to launch the game and give control to the AI. So it's playing the entire match. And the cool thing is that eventually, potentially you could see like an entire replay or highlights, full stats of all these matches. So it's a little bit like it's almost like a football manager kind of thing, right? Where the match are actually played. All right, so we are at the final. I could run it in release mode. It's not really. I remember Hydrofoil Generation. I basically only work in release mode. I never work in because in debug mode it was just impossible. It would not run. It was just could not calculate the stuff in time. All right, so we got this finished. So in theory, we should go to the rankings. Perfect, and we got the points. Okay. I see a bug here, where basically it didn't give the victory point to the winner. So let's fix that. And we're gonna do it in release mode, so we can just do it much faster. All right, so we want to go to add tournament result. Okay, and I think we're going to. How does this work? So I can either treat it as an exception, which probably I'm going to do. So the way I'm going to do this is if matches if it is only one match, it's the final, right? If this round only has one match, this is the final. So what we're gonna do is get the result. So the winner. So winner index is gonna be our matches lasts. We unwrap it, and we get the result. We unwrap the result, and we get the score, and we get the winner index, and we unwrap the winner index like a motherfucker because we know it's gonna be there. It's like, you know, okay, it can never crash here because we just check that we have won, right? But we know that it should have a result, and we know that if we have a result, it also has a winner index. So perhaps I should have some kind of, because right now I'm reusing the score, which is the same data structure that I'm using for the live match. Well, I could have like a result score or something like that, where winner index is not an optional. Possible. All right, so we have the winner index. So what we're gonna do is basically saying self points of who? Killbane, thanks for the follow. Of shit, we need the match. So let's grab this match. Should I do it in here so I already have the match? Bro, I should do it here. Right, so it's instead of doing all this noise, I can just do this. Right? And then this becomes players winner index plus equals and I plus 1, I think, for the victory. Cannot be indexed by, yeah. Unwrap. Cannot move out. Okay, as ref. And we don't need this parents. Okay, so let's try again, but this time we're gonna try it in release mode because it takes too long. Release mode. Gonna take a little bit of a hit here because it needs to build in release mode. No, Jax. No. Go away. Jax. You see how much faster it is in release mode. Play. We retire. Simulate. Drop. Simulate. Drop. Simulate. Simulate. Let's pay attention to who won. So Naoko Wada won. And we go here. Naoko Wada 15 points. Okay. That's very good. And then we can do another one. What happened there? Not sure what happened there. Did they automatically play the matches? I'm not sure what happened. Keiko Kojima won. So that's the new ranking. Very good. So let me check what happened there. Tournament. It is interesting. Is first of all, is it always? It's always the same tournament. It's always the same tournament. Okay, let's fix this. So, okay. So I think I think what is happening is that when I press tournament here, I need to reset the UI memory. Or I could do it when there is that button back in the tournament here. So I add the points, and then I think I do UI memory, right, unwrap, next tournament, and put it in nothing. I think that's the reason why it was always the same tournament. Let's give it a try. Which probably should also happen when we go back to the main screen. So tournament. All right, so now it's different. We are the first match, so we need to play this and retire, which is good because, okay, so retire. Okay, simulate. All right, so much faster. Simulate. I need to check on the Steam Deck to see how fast it is. If it's, I think this is absolutely acceptable for the player, and probably right now it's stopping at the end of the round. I spoke about this already. It's like I'm not sure if we want to have it like this. We want to have like every single match the player will have to do play. If we have like a different button, just play to the end. I don't know. Okay, so Naoko Wada won. Naoko Wada. So we go back, go tournament, and now it's a new tournament. Awesome. Right. We play. Retire. And we can simulate another tournament. Simulate again. Simulate again. Simulate again. Nobuko Oda. Okay. And you can see that, you know, in its own way, the AI system, although very simple, it's already making sense. Well, you see that there is definitely like a left side of the ranking and the right side of the ranking. Let's do like a couple more. They should win another tournament. It's the second tournament. Last one. Same. So we have somebody that is definitely better than everybody else. One more. Yeah, pretty much unbeatable, I think. Won again. And won again. So she basically won pretty much every tournament. Okay, that's cool. We go back. All right. So ranking. No, we're not done because we're done all this and we lost all the data. Right. So what we need to do is save it. So ranking. Boop fn save and self and also file name. And stud.io result. Nothing. Right. Okay. Right. So that file is. I always forget. I can't help it. I can't help it. Players. I can't help it. Call this W, so we spend less time doing this. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna write? We're gonna write. We just have to write down this. We just have to write these two vectors. How we can do this? Yeah, I think we can just do like this. Let's do write ln, and we write points. Right. And then we go for p in self points. We just write this. Super simple. Right, and then we write, and we don't even need to write the ranking because we can calculate it on the fly when we load. Right, so it's not a problem. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Okay, so in launcher drop we do ranking read unwrap save. For now we're gonna save this in ranking. Okay, so let's get the ranking with some points. And we need to go again to a tournament. back. Now we got ranking, and we go back, and we quit. Boom, and we should have a ranking. Okay, very good, perfect. So now in ranking new, we need to also pass in a file name to possibly open, right? So what we're going to do is if let sum ini is ini file open file name, and this is okay, it's a file result. Let's do it like this. All right. I think we can do it in a different way. So the only difference is going to be that points is going to be this if the file is not there, right? And if the file is there, we grab the points. So we grab the section, which is any find section points, unwrap. Oh, let's be like if let some. You never know. You never know. Maybe a player goes there and start to put their dirty hands on something, and then you don't want the game to start crashing. All right, and then what we're gonna do is okay, so if it's not like this, again, we return a vector like that. Otherwise, what we do section values. We iterate and we map it. And we do value 1 parse. And we collect. Can Rust understand what it needs to parse to? No. Because it's an option. Because it's 0, right? Okay. A value of type integer cannot be built over an element of result. Okay, so it's not that smart. So points needs to be a usize. So parse usize. Still not happy. So 0 is a string. Because we need to unwrap this. So I think this is not needed, and we do unwrap or 0. Can you do this thrust? Oh, look at that. You don't have to tell him the type of that parse. That looks good. The only thing that is missing is that when we initialize this guy, we need to pass in the where the ranking is. So ranking dot. All right, so if it works, we should get already the points. Ranking. Here we go. It's very cool. What is the lazy static macro? It's something that basically it's a singleton. Is to create a singleton. Jax, go away. Go away. Maybe it's becoming annoying. Maybe you feed him. Is to create the equivalent of a singleton. So it's basically calling this new function the first time that I try to access one of these. Right? So they are fundamentally singletons that are created on demand the first time that you access them. The reason is that I really didn't want to have to pass this stuff around because it was too much work. And this was my old way to do the singleton, which at the end of is using unsafe. And I have to create it manually, which is so it doesn't create it automatically. So this was my old way. This one with the read to write lock is a little bit slower, I think, than this. But it doesn't matter. We are in the UI, so it doesn't matter. It's good enough. I think it's pretty good to use. It's really not bad. Good. Let's say that our first round on rankings. Ranking step 1. I like to call it like this way. Okay, this is pretty much what I did, right? I didn't do anything else. All the stuff that I did here is all ranking. I didn't change anything else in particular. Right, let's go. Okay. So where are we? So ranking. So let's say the ranking is done. This is immediately spawning a new task, which is tournament seeds. Okay. So what is the seed? The concept is that right now the draw for the tournament is completely random. So that means that you could have number 1 and number 2 playing each other on the first round. And actually we could do something interesting now, because when we render the tournament, okay, so let's do something cool. So let's go in ranking. Could do something really cool here, because what we could do, player rank position and player ID, right, which is a usize, and we are returning a usize. So I think it's self ranking iter position of, so we get the that's how it works, right? So the ranking, I always forget this. I think the ranking, yeah, is the ID of the player, right? So P equal player ID. Okay, and then we have a expect, you know, catastrophic error. Called not locate player ID. Okay. Thank you very much for making your code public. Well, it's not really public, isn't it? I mean, you can read it here, but the repository is not public. Nice, thanks. I guess it's fine for one-time allocations. Yeah. I mean, the problem for the performance there in the is not really because of the allocation. Is I think that read-write lock is designed for multi-threading access, so it's making it really robust. In this case, I know I'm single-threaded, so I could do it just with an unsafe. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so now we have this, so we can do something really cool, because in our render tournament round, we could do something really, really cool, where when we print the player, so here we print the player name, we could actually do player rank. Is very inefficient what we're doing, but again, who cares? We're not in a place where it matters, right? So here we could grab our ranking, which is ranking. Here we go, the lazy. This is how you use then lazy, right? Actually, how you use the RW lock. So I want to read it, right? It can fail, so I have to do this unwrap, and now I have a reference to my singleton ranking. So down here, I could do player rank is ranking player rank position, and we pass in the player index, right? And now here we can actually say format, right? And we get the name of the player, and then we can, in parens, putting the position in the rank, which is really cool. So we get the full name and the player rank. Right? Ha ha. See? So now, for example, my match, I can see that I'm playing number 10. And the thing that I was saying that it is missing at the moment, the seeds, right? So let's see. Okay. Mistake. The ranking, it should be +1. Right? It's 1 base, it's not 0 based. So you can have position 0. All right, so for example, here we go. Now straight away we got an example where this could never happen in tennis. You could you will never get like number 3 and number 4 in a rank playing on the first round. Right? It will be weird, right? So the way it works is that I think the way it works is that you have different level of seeds. So you have the first 4 seeds, and they get randomly selected. So one will be here, right? One will be here, one will be here, one will be here. So they potentially only meet in the semifinal. And then you have the next group of seeds that gets randomly selected there. So it's just the draw is not completely random, but it's a little bit more driven. And this actually makes it a little bit more difficult. It actually makes the game a little bit more difficult, because you can imagine that if your rank is low, most of the time you're gonna get very strong opponents in the first round. So that makes the game actually a little bit difficult. Because in this case, for example, my match will be with number 32. This is literally, at the moment will be like the last one in the rank. Although we only have one tournament here, so it's not a representative rank. But this will not happen, right? It will not happen. If I am low rank, I'm always going to start with a girl that is pretty strong. So that's something. There's something to think about. Definitely makes. I thought about it right now. That actually will make the game harder. Let me simulate a match, and then I start to. May play a match, and then I'm gonna do the replays. Let's see if I can win. I actually never won a round in a tournament. Okay, if we play like this, it's very unlikely we're gonna win. So this is the problem, that we get the fence in our face. Oof, that was not a good shot. So right now we also had this thing that the rally just go too long. There is no mistakes. There you go. I called it. Especially when I force the shot, I want more mistakes. So 1-0. we are on the grass, but I still have the sound of the squeaking shoes. I didn't make a point. I didn't make a single point. Definitely right now the rallies are too long, and the eye is too good. It's like I'm sitting here, but I think there is no way that she's gonna make a mistake. Let's see. Well, yeah. And I still have to make a point. I'm getting completely destroyed. I think definitely the AI is too good. There is absolutely no mistakes. This should be like a middle low level AI, but it's like they never miss, never. You need to put them really on the run to miss something. Look at this. It's like eventually I miss. Hold on, let me adjust this. Let me fix it. It shouldn't be that difficult. So I have to remember how it works. AI player. So where was the timing stuff? So there was the AI skills, AI shot skill timing. So I think they need to get this timing a little bit more. So timing. So max error. There you go. Okay. So we need to increase this guy drastically. Okay, let's try like this. Let's try like this. And I have to put my glasses because I don't see the screen anymore. Aging sucks. So let's see if we can get a little bit of mistakes from the eye. So let's start another tournament. We are down here with theoretically number 10. So let's see. There you go. We start with the double fault. Maybe we exaggerated. Still no mistakes. Apart from that double fault. Yeah, there you go. She got me a point. All right, let's go. Double fault again. No. I'll miss. Oof. That was close. Ooh. Rush. There you go. 1-0 for me. Yeah, for example, that one should have gone out. Still too long. Too good. 1-1. Too long. Definitely too long. Come on. Yeah, it's too good. I would be curious to see what kind of timing they're doing. You know, have the number on the top of the eye, but right now it's too good. And was on the line. Come on, man. So difficult when the ball goes up like that. I have no idea where the ball is. Let's go. The rallies are too long. 2-3. Set point. So we lost the first set. And it's just... She never misses. She never misses. Look at this. It's like we can go here forever. I'm playing terrible. She doesn't do anything, but she never miss. Hey, we're going on forever. Okay, so if I play in the middle like this, what's gonna be? We're gonna be here forever. So the average rally is 9 shots. Okay, I thought it was way more. It's still too high, but it's not that bad. Obviously, this one that we did, but it's mostly because I'm trying to do something. I don't understand how the average rally could be 9-4. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're already more. 11, 12. Okay. 9, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. We're way up. So 9-9 now. So difficult. Come on. Ah, fanculo. Alright, still too is super hard, super hard, super hard. Looks very nice. Is tennis game made Rust? Yes, yes, Antares. That's correct. So let's get this tournament completed so we get, you know, the ranking going on. I don't think I'm gonna do replay. I'm pretty tired already. Always the same player winning. Always the same player right now winning. So quit and let's make sure that the rankings are. Well, I don't see why. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Looks kind of okay. It's weird that this is 15. Hold on. Hold on. I think I see. Is something weird going on? A tournament result? No, I think we're all fine. No, we're all fine. It's pretty nice to play. It's a little bit frustrating because the AI is too good. That's really the thing that at the moment is making things a little bit. Hold on. Okay. I only changed this thing in the serve. All right. All right. So let me see 1 second. All right, so let's increase it here. So let's I want to have a chance here because I feel like they never miss. So let me try one more time. So we're playing with number 9. So it's not probably not gonna be easy. All right, let's go. And then we have probably an impossible match after this. But let's see 1 second. Let's see. She didn't even hit the ball, which is like, you know, that's a good starting point. So the thing that we want to see is really some mistakes like that. All that, right? We're not playing with fucking top player. So 1-0 for me. Let's go. So can we just keep the ball in play? There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Just keep the ball in play. Yeah, okay. She's not. Okay, she's not that good now. Ah. And this game is gonna be a lot of this stuff. A lot of tweaking and go get that. Yeah, you go. There you go. Survive. Let's go. Survive. Survive. Ah! Yes. Let's go. 2-0 for me. Ah. Yes, huge problem in returning. She's definitely not that good. That's okay. That's fine. That's fine. At least I have hope. She's literally missing balls by... That's a lot. That's a huge mistake. 3-0 for me. Oof, that was lucky. The timing on the server is so wrong. Whoa, that was a bomb. All right. 31, let's go. I wanted to finish 4-0, but it looks like she's going 3-1. Ah, all right, 3-1. Yep. Come on. She completely misses the ball. All right, first set for me. All right. One number completely changed the entire feeling of the game. Balancing in this game is gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be a bloodbath to find the balance in this game. It's interesting because if we can finish this, I'm curious. Then we go play basically with the girl that was winning every tournament. So it's gonna be interesting to go and check the difference. She's literally missing the balls completely. Look at that. 1-0 for me. Let's go. This I could have gone to the net, but it's okay. I got the point anyway. Yes. Oh, okay. 2-0. Let's go. Give me some more double faults. Come on. There you go. Called it. She can hit the ball in her face. Oh. Let's go. Oh, that was a good shot. That was a good shot. Oof. Oh. Yes. 3-0. Let's go. Out, out. Was not out? All right. Match point. Yeah, let's go. All right. Okay, so we won this one. Easy. Super easy. All right. So we're going to see what happens there. So what happens now? So theoretically, this one should be good. Okay. So let's see if there is a difference. Not a good start for our opponent. Not a good start for me either with the double fault. Oof. Okay. We might have gone too far. She's not putting a ball in play. Oof. That's terrible. Okay. We might have exaggerated now. All right, 2-0 without even trying. So we went too much in the other direction. It's good that I could change it so drastically. So only one value. And we went from, okay, this is impossible to, I just need to put the ball in play and I'm going to win. So 3-0, it's like easier than the other match. She's literally missing everything. There we go. It's like, I'm not doing anything. Just putting the ball on the other side. Terrible. All right. Set point. All right, first set's 4-0. I think it's quite obvious. Who is screaming out? I don't see anyone. Yeah, it's got like the electronic. Ciao, Simo. Ciao, Simo. I know nothing about making AI. How did you make your AI do mistakes? Does it involve some randomness? Yes, of course it does. Yes, they pretty much work the same way. It's the way they're doing it is very fair in the sense that the game is all about timing. It's all about timing the release of the button, so you hit the ball at the right time. And when you see those 190, 80, that's feedback on how good my timing was when I was hitting the ball. And what is happening is that the eye is basically creating a timing mishap, a timing error. So we went from an error of is this, yeah, I think this is an actual error in seconds. So we went from an error of 0.1 in the worst case scenario, which is 100 milliseconds. So 100 millisecond error, to 350 milliseconds. So obviously we more than triple the range, right? So probably we should double the range and we should get the better thing. And probably this value, I should have it kind of live in my UI, so I could kind of change it. Ciao, Crystal. So this is the same girl. Now we changed to 200 milliseconds. And she's still like completely missing my ball on fast serves. So right now, completely giving the game to me completely. Short ball. She's gonna miss that. Let's have a look what they are actually hitting. I usually keep it off because it makes it difficult. I cannot see the ball starting. So, but let me see if I can do something about it. So, this is the shot target. No, it's the shot feedback that I'm looking for. So this is the shot feedback. All right. So let's have the shot feedback. Okay. And maybe what I'm going to do is I'm gonna raise the position of the thing a little bit. So hopefully it's not gonna be in the way. So I'm gonna raise it by 1.5 meters. So hopefully it's not going to be in the way and I will be able to see the shot. Yeah. So let's see what they're actually hitting. And I don't even need to play, I can just watch. Why is not working? Okay. I think I made it too high, my own, and it doesn't show up. Yeah, I made it too high. Hold on. That's weird, though. 1.5 meters is not really that high. That's surprising. Let's go 0.5 meter. 75. It's totally fair. I don't have to really. Oof. Okay, so we can see that the serve was a disaster. Okay, 19. 30. So that should have been a mistake. 60. 60. 80. 50. 80. 50. 80. Yeah, so it's not that good. And let's have a look 1 second. So the other player is very suspicious. These numbers are very suspicious. I think there is something wrong in here. It's very suspicious. There is 500. This is wrong. This is wrong. Players TV. This is wrong. I have a feeling that everybody has the same values. Everybody has the same values. Players DB, that's the problem. We completely lost the AI characterization. And the reason is that in my loading, I'm not loading the fucking AI skills. All right. Let's fix this. All right. Allora, how are we gonna do this? First of all, there is one thing that Rider has that is really cool, where basically I can see everything that changed in Git in a particular section. So I can do this, and then it's like, show me, maybe they implemented also here. Like, show me the history of this part. I don't think they have it. View. I thought having a wrap is not good and should be avoided so the game doesn't crash. Yeah, it depends what you're doing. You know that there is programming is not about having this kind of rules, right? In this case, we're loading from file, and this file is not a file that is written by hand. It's a file that is written by the computer, right? So that means that value has to be there, right? And if it's not there, it's totally fine for the game to crash, especially at this stage. It would be, imagine a situation where instead of doing unwrap here, I will put like a default value in it. Right? For example, something that is happening here, but what is happening is that I'm never gonna know that there is a problem. Right? So crashes are actually a very good way to let you know that you have a problem. Right? Sometimes if you write code where you're trying to recover from a crash and silently fix it, nobody will know that there is that problem there. Right? So this unwrap means that I want it to crash. Right? It means that I wrote something wrong. Right? So you have first of all, you have to think what kind of programs you're doing, right? If you're writing something that is doing an operation on somebody's eye, you definitely don't want the program to crash. If you're writing something that is flying a plane, you don't want the program to crash. Right? If you're writing a video game, you are in the middle of development, a crash is totally fine. All right. So what we're doing? So I would say there is two ways to fix this. Okay. First thing, we need to write we need to write the loading for the AI skills. Right. So the AI skills is going to be AI skills. So this is all the shit that we have to complete. So reaction time is easy. We need the AI section. So let's AI sec is any find section format one AI with the index of the player. So this one is AI section find F32, I think. Reaction time. I think. Reaction time. All right. Then these three we're gonna write. We're gonna write a function. Similar to what we're doing here, right? So AI shot skill, right? And we're gonna take any section. We're gonna take a shot name, right? And we're gonna return an AI shot skill. So AI shot skill, boom. And this is going to be section find F32, and it's going to be format. It's going to be the shot name aggro. Right? Wrap. Shot name. Okay. So this is going to be all the same. Timing and spacing. This is going to be serve, it's going to be AI shot skill, and we pass in the section. No, I think the section is already a reference, and we pass serve, and we pass, that's it. Right. And then we do this, this, and then this, this. Okay. But we haven't solved the problem yet. So we can run it 1 second just to make sure that it's not crashing and we did everything fine. But we haven't solved the problem, and now every player has the same data. And the way to solve this is that I want to roll back the procedural generation that I was having. So where are we? We are in players DB new. So new players DB. All right. So where did I delete here? Actually still there. Okay, I have it here. All right, boom. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna kill every player after. So what we're gonna do is players. How I delete a certain amount, like keep or something like that. Retain. Resize. I think resize. Yeah. So resize to only 2. And, you know, it's just going to be a player data. I don't have a default. Shit. I don't have a default. I don't have a default on player data. Okay. Must be an easy way. There must be some kind of slice or some kind of players slice split off. What is split off doing? Split. Has slice. I think that's what we want. Then can I do like 0, 2, something like that? All right, Google. Rust, slice a vector. You know what I can do? I can do this. Let me see 1 second how I do slice. Otherwise, I know how I can do it even easily. Okay. A specific range. Okay. Okay. So I can do players from 0 to 3. Mishmash type. Expression I found slice. Okay. And can I collect it? Can I do iter collect? Or to vec? Is there to vec? To vec. Cool. I think that's it. That's it. That's what we wanted to do. All right. Let's see if it works. So if it works, it will regenerate all the players with the old data. This name I don't recognize. Okay, and now we're crashing. But I think because it's too like this, isn't it? Okay. Boom. Right. These are all good. These are all good. Right. And now I can quit. And in the players, now I should have the actual AI stuff. There you go. Okay. All right. Okay. And now I can recomment again this code. Now we are reloading all the players. Now I can start the match. And have a look at the player data. And now the numbers make a little bit more sense. Okay. Cool. But I'm really tired. I don't think I'm gonna do the replays. So the timing is completely whacked. So it's very possible that what we were seeing was the fact that the players had all 0.5. So cool. So if we go back to the place that we were doing the timing. So we can, so this one, I think it was 15, and I think the other one was 10. So let's go 15, 15, and let's have a look. Yes, actually, I already had it. I already had it in the Jai version. I still have to put it. I already have the grants, and obviously it's gonna change player by players. So some players will grant, some player will not grant. Okay, double fault to start. Okay, 90, 80, 100. 170, 190, 60, 80, 90, 90. I have a feeling that that difference should be it. That number has a huge influence. So 0.5 made a huge difference. So the range is restricting. Mistake. And we are at 12 shots average. Now we're going down, 10. As I said other times, my target will be really something around 5 or 6 shots average. Maybe less, especially for a beginner match. For now, this looks okay. And because obviously, because it's based on timing, the faster is the ball, because the calculation, okay, how can I explain this? The calculation of how good your shot is actually based on the distance and not on the timing. So it's based on, okay, here is where I am supposed to hit the ball. Where is the ball compared to where I'm supposed to hit it? So it's in meters, but the timing is in seconds. So that means that if I hit harder, and the timing of my opponent is not so good, it's going to be harder for him. So the idea is that if you hit harder, you will make it automatically more difficult for your opponent to hit a good shot. I hope that was clear. It's really clear in my head. I cannot really express it that clearly. So right now we are 7.8 average length, which is a little bit too long. All right. That's, I think for today, I think is good enough. I think it's good enough. Oh, this doesn't work anymore? Is it because the AI is in control and it doesn't work anymore? All right. New bug. All right. All good. So we got our ranking. Can quit this. So fixed, not loading, fixed AI skill, not loaded. All right. All right. Jai version. Is this a right, or was that one more of the version? The story is that I started this project in Rust. In Jai. So in the last 2 or 3 years, I basically developed pretty much in parallel a Vulkan engine in Jai and pretty much the same thing in Rust as an engine. So about probably 1 month or maybe a couple of months now ago, I decided, okay, I was trying to do different prototypes. I didn't really have anything that made me fall in love. Let's say, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna do a tennis game with anime girls. And I started that in Jai. At a certain point, after 2 or 3 weeks, I think, after the version in Jai is still here and it still works. After a couple of weeks, I started to have doubts that I really wanted to continue and write the engine. So I took this. So this is the Jai version, and you can hear the grunts. How does the AI works? I cannot give the control to the AI in the Jai version. No control in Jai. So this is the Jai version. After a little bit, well, in this, I decided that I didn't want to write the engine, and I did it. I redid it in Godot, and in about a week. So now the animations are totally broken. I think we changed the animation. So right now it's like it feels really weird to play because the animation are really wrong, and it's moonballing. Anyway, this is the driver. So you can see that compared to our current version, the rendering is a little bit messed up. We have no animation for running, but we have the girls grunting, which is gonna come back. I'm gonna put the grunts on the girls. Then I rewrote in Godot, and then I said no, I prefer to work with my own engine, and my last game was in Rust, so I said I'm gonna do it in Rust. So it's been probably a month now that I've been doing it with Rust. Let's have a look. It's been pretty much. So 4 weeks ago I did the launcher animation. 1 month ago I did the lights. Yeah, so about 1 month. Tennis stuff, that's when I started, I think, something like that. 1 month, 2 months ago I switched completely to Rust. All right, guys, that was cool. I've been here for maybe 2 or 3 streams, and I didn't even know the project has a history like that. Yeah, I mean, it's a short history. We're talking about 2 or 3 months, so we're still like in the very early stages, right? The thing that I'm happy for now is that the gameplay is really fun. I find myself playing the game. You know, sometimes I work and I was like, oh shit, I don't want to work. I want to play, which is a very good sign. But obviously I'm very skewed, you know. Obviously I love playing tennis, so it's quite normal that I enjoy playing the game. But it's a very good sign. It's a very good sign. I remember my last game, it was fun to play, but you know, it was always like I was a little bit, I wouldn't say disappointed, but I was expecting something a little bit different. Because that's one of the main difference. Like I'm not a sailor, let alone somebody that did foiling, which is like very few people in the world did. So when I was watching the races of Sail GP, I had a different idea of how it was going to be to drive these boats. And I mean, it's cool. It's cool, but it's really hard. It's really hard in a way that is difficult to balance, because I found that it was really hard the moment that you had to do the job of 3 people on the boat. The brain wanted to explode. But as soon as you removed even one of those, then the game became a little bit too easy and not enough action. I'm really like an action junkie. That's why, you know, I come from racing games where it's basically action all the way. You know, you're constantly, you know, turning, braking, accelerating, changing gears. It's like there is not a second where you can really relax. While obviously with these boats there was a lot of you go straight for a while and then you prepare for a maneuver, you maneuver, and then you think a little bit. And I was also expecting that you could make a much bigger difference in a straight line depending on how you were falling on the boat. And in reality, it didn't really make that huge of a difference. The setup of the boat was more important than the way you were sailing it, which doesn't make a good game. It doesn't make for a good game. So this one, I love how it's coming up. You know, I love that now I have a tournament and I have a ranking and I can play, and how I stack compared to the other players. You know, I can't wait to actually go deeper and deeper. And then there's going to be the question about the tournament training sequence. So tournament, and then I go train. It's like, you can imagine, like, you know, you lose a tournament, you're like, you know, I wish my second serve was a little bit better, and you go like, you go and you train for your second serve, and then you go to play next tournament, and now your second serve hopefully is a little bit better, and so on and so on. And as I was saying at the beginning of the thing, the cool thing is that the other girls are going to train as well, so they're also going to improve. I never was into actual tennis, but I remember enjoying a few tennis video games back in the days. Yeah, I can't say I played many games, many tennis games. I can't. It's always been it's actually was the first game that I did as a kid, right? When I was learning how to code. So I kind of have like this idea of how a tennis game should be, that comes from years ago. So for me, it's like really like closing the circle and going back, you know, to what I was doing 30 years ago when I was learning how to code to make a tennis game. So I cannot say I played a lot of tennis game, because usually what I see, it turns me off instantly. So if I see a tennis game where the position of the players on the court is wrong, it's an instant turn off for me. You know, so I keep saying this thing all the time, right? But if I see if this thing still works. All right. So if I see a tennis game where players are playing here instead of here, for me it's like, okay, not for me. I'm out. So all your iteration of Mario Tennis, pretty much all the Nintendo stuff, for me is no. If I see the ball big and slow, it's a turn off. Like, no, I'm not gonna play tennis that goes like half the speed of what it should be. If I see the court size wrong, I'm out. If I see the player diving 3 times every point, I'm out. If I see rallies of 20 shots for every point, I'm out. So I'm really like, you know, I'm super, and suddenly pretty much every tennis game that I saw had this kind. If I see the ball movement doing weird things, right? Because they want the ball to hit the racket correctly, so you move the ball so the animation looks like it's hitting the ball correctly, I'm out, right? So every time I see games like that, I'm not into it. I think virtual tennis was good. We watched some videos. I think it was the one that we saw that was slowed down, though. I think we watched it the other time. Was it virtual tennis? I think so. I think we watched it before, and the thing that I picked up straight away was the fact that it was a slow motion. The ball was huge. So let's have a look. So you can see that it's super slow motion. I mean, especially if now that we're streaming for a while, so I've been playing for a while, this looks like it's half the speed of what it should be. Right? So the trajectory of the ball is correct, but it's all in slow motion. So it looks like we're watching a slow motion thing, right? But it looks cool. It looks. I think compared to what I see in other games like Top Spin, or it looks good. And you see that the rallies are not that super long. We didn't see anybody diving. Player position on the court is correct. Federer is playing like Federer, being super aggressive. So it's cool. I think it's pretty cool. And the other thing that I was saying the other time, the ball is like 3 times the size of what it should be, right? And I totally understand. I totally understand the decision. At the end of the day, you're trying to make something that is playable, so it's very important that the player is able to see the ball. But obviously, it's like a football. It's not like a tennis ball, right? It looks like it's this big, which is not great. And there is the slow motion thing that for me is a little bit of a turn off. But I agree that probably from the tennis games that you guys have shown me, this is probably the one that I like the most. Obviously, I don't know how it feels to play. I don't know how reactive is the movement and the shots and so on. So I have no idea. But the impression is good. I have a game on my wish list, Tennis Elbow 4. I have seen it. I've seen some video reviews, and it looks like the control system is quite different from every game out there. So I don't know. The animation looks pretty weird. Obviously, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I don't wanna. It's very difficult to get players to move. So this is Tennis Elbow. So you can see that here the ball speed is much closer to what it should be. The problem is that straight away we are into a 20 shots thing. This could be a particular highlight, so we don't know if that's the case. And I think this game has a lot of modding going on. From what I hear is like one of the closest, you can see the decision they took. So the ball is the correct size. The speed of the ball is very reasonable, right? So the rallies are right size, right length, I would say, for now. So yeah, the animations are the shot animation are okay. I think one of the biggest problem is really the movement, but trust me, it's so difficult. Trying to replicate how a tennis player moves is a nightmare. I have no idea how we're gonna do that. Absolutely no idea. But from what I hear, the control system is very different from every other game. So yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's probably the game that, from what I hear, gets the best comment from people that like tennis. Yeah, I definitely come from more, yeah, the much older games. Anyway, guys, I'm out. I'm gonna get something to eat. Thanks a lot for spending time together, and I will see you next time. Ciao, ciao, ciao.